YouTube, what's going on? It's been a while since I dropped a haircut tutorial, but I'm excited about this one because to me it's a transformation. You see, if you've seen the thumbnail, you know it's about to go down. But before we get started with this tutorial, I just want to let you guys know that the Tune 45 Foundations online course is now available. If you're trying to take your career to the next level, if you're in barber school and you don't feel like you're getting the information that you should get to prepare yourself for a successful career behind the chair in the barbershop, then this is the course for you. And this isn't to take away from any barber schools. Barber schools teach you a lot of important information. But what I'm telling you is, just like college, you learn a lot of good things, but you don't really elevate until you're actually in that world and you're actually working, or you're interning, or you're starting your career. And so that's what I'm hoping Foundations will be, this online course. If you're trying to get this to the next level, if you're trying to really truly understand some of the things that a lot of these YouTube barbers, a lot of barbers in general talk about, and you want to know the theory behind the action, definitely check out Tune 45 Foundations. It's available now. Link will be in the description.
YouTube, look at this transformation we about to do, man. Like, look at my man. He was woofing. I think the last tutorial you saw, I think that's the last time he got a haircut. So we're gonna do things a little bit differently on the top though. We're gonna do a 5.5 on the front, because as you can see, he's got a lot of overhanging hair, and some of that hair, it makes his hairline look fuller. So we're gonna leave that at a 5.5, and then the rest of the bulk of his head is gonna be a number 4 closed, and we're gonna do that all the way around, starting at the cowlick area, working our way towards the sides. Now behind the ear and all this hair that's kind of waving out, that we're gonna lower with a number 3, so you don't have to worry about that so much. The reason why I'm gonna lower that to a number 3 is because I want it to be a length that'll lay down, and so when we put that line on there, it is crispy. I want that line to crunch. And when you have that much hair or that much bulk, it's really hard to get a nice standout lineup. So number 3, clearing out the bulk at the lower portion of his entire hairline pretty much. And then here we're just setting it up for a taper. So he's gonna get a high taper. We're using our JRLs to bald him out, get a nice smooth bald out here, and we'll follow it up with the shaver. These are the JRL's 1040s if you're wondering. And then here we're using the Babyliss shaver. This is the Foil FX, and you can see it just got it a little smoother on the side. So now I'm using my JRL's blade open. Now I'm warning you, these are shorter because they're fade blade and they're zero gap. These are shorter than your typical blade open, and you can see it almost looked like the blade a quarter open if you were using seniors of the Babyliss, for example. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take out that guideline, take out that line, and then we'll move on. Alright, so switching over to my Babyliss. Got my blade, my number 1 guard all the way open. Alright, and we'll start taking that line out with the half guard. If you're using the Andes Masters, this is the number 0 guard. You know, you're opening the lever, you're closing the lever as needed until it's blended out. You may need to drop back down to the blade open because, again, that JRL blade open is pretty short. So to get in between that JRL blade open to that half guard, I'm using my blade, just my blade, no guard on the Babylesses. Now, I like the JRLs. I like the way they balled out, and I like the way that you know, the transition, how close it gets, because it really makes that blend pop, I feel like. So that's why I started with the blade open, even though it's super short with the JRLs. So now I'm using my number 2, and that should be my last guard since we already used the number 3 to clear bulk. Sometimes you might go up too high and you gotta do some clip over comb, or you gotta follow it up with the number 3 again. Here I'm using my 1.5 guard, and you could use the color chart on the bottom left corner to follow along if you don't know exactly what guards I'm using. This is the 1.5 guard. Back down to my number 1. At this point, I'm just gonna be detailing, man. Detailing any dark areas I may see. Just trying to make this high taper really pop. And you saw I was using corners, and I'm sure you guys see that in a lot of other tutorials, a lot of other YouTube videos about barbers using the corners. So here I'm using clipper over comb, and I'm starting off at my number 3, and I'm just taking off whatever comes off on the comb above that. And you saw we went behind the ear as well. Super important, you don't want it to be too long behind the ear. So I'm just tapering out the beard. He wanted it tapered. I think it's gonna be a dope look into the high taper. Alright, we can start lining up his beard. And I did the beard lineup and the lineup on this side just because I was showing some of the barbers that work at the shop. I was showing them some techniques and giving them some, answering some questions for them. So I wanted them to see not a finished result, but I wanted them to see a closer version of a finished product. Sorry guys, it's early in the morning. I'm recording this at like 10 in the morning, so I haven't had my coffee yet. Cool. So you can see right here when we put this line on it, it's really gonna pop. See, you put that line on there, that taper really stands out now. And then the beard line is gonna be way sharper once we put the razor on it. And it's gonna be, and it don't need enhancements, it don't need it, but guess what? We're gonna put some no drip on there, and he gonna get enhancements anyways. So we're doing the same thing here in the back here. We're clearing the bulk with a number 3, and then we'll start our high taper in the back, especially here in the back. He's got cowlick and everything down here. I'm just gonna cut right above that. I'm not even gonna try to mess with that. End up being fading his back taper out for an hour. Not interested. So we're gonna move on to the blade open with the JRLs, and then we'll go ahead and start to take out that bottom line. It's almost gone because the difference between the JRL close again and the blade open isn't that much. And I feel like I remind you guys all the time, but just a reminder, this isn't my system. This isn't what I use as a daily driver. I just try to show you guys different system, different tools, constantly, upgrading my tools so that you guys can see different stuff, because there's thousands of systems out there. There's different ways to blend, and not every system is for everyone. So now I have my half guard, and you can see there's still a subtle line, especially where that cowlick area is. So I'm going with my blade open. Look how I flip it upside down right here. That's because there's a cowlick there, and I want to make sure I'm hitting in every direction that the hairline is growing, so I could take that line out from that cowlick. You can see that line evaporated, just disintegrated. It's gone. And we're starting to get a blurry effect now. Alright, so then number 2, just like we did on the other side. And then that line underneath the number 2 will start to buff out with that 1.5 guard. And then the 1 guard open, and then we'll start detailing. So here's the 1.5 guard. You can see it's taking out some of that bulk. And I pointed at that line that we're gonna start to take out with the 1 guard open. And you might need to close this some. I don't know. You might need to. You might need to drop down to the half guard. But that's where the detailing part of this high taper comes into effect. You know, where the magic happens is detailing. You can have your systems in place, but you know, hair cutting isn't supposed to be cookie cutter. If you want the best possible haircut, it's got to be the best possible haircut for that particular person. And like now we're detailing with the half guard, and you can see the tapers coming together. And what I'll do, if you notice right there, I kind of moved his head at different angles. I'm trying to see it in different lighting. And then, you know, I'm not facing him towards my mirror, I'm using my camera, so I'll check the camera too. But look at this angle. Yeah, that high taper, it flows into the side real nice. Sometimes you can make a taper look like the sides don't belong with the back, but I feel like it's flowing into each other really nicely here. Especially when we do this lineup right here. So once you line them up, you start seeing some imperfections. Like right here, I saw some hair that could come off that was creating a little bit of bulk. And even here in this area, I remember grabbing my number 2 guard and going up a little bit higher to kind of clean that back area up. Like here I'm using my 1.5 guard because I put the line up on it, and I saw some things that I didn't see previously before the line. And then, so hold on, I'm cleaning it up, but you see that bulk right there where my trimmers are right now? Cool. I'm gonna grab my number 2. I'm just gonna clean that up, take out that darkness, that bulk, and now I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna do some clip over comb in the back because that's the one step we left off at. And my number 3, just in case, just to marry it all. And that's looking pretty good, man. Detailing it after the lineup because I'm OCD about it. And now we'll do the other side. Now I skipped the tapering the other side just to save time, and you guys get the point. I don't want to be too repetitive, so I skipped the actual fading process. But here's the lineup process. You can see we lowered it behind the ear as well. And the trimmers I'm using here are Andis Slimlines. They're modified by 86 Customs to have the T outliner blade, not the slimline blade. And we blended out the beard as well. Now what I've been avoiding the whole cut is that front hairline. So I'm not gonna lie, the front hairline had me nervous. This video almost didn't make it to YouTube. Nah, just playing. But like, look at that hairline, son. Oh my gosh. So I'm using my my clippers to line it up. I just feel like it has wider teeth and it'll get a better cut. That's because there's a lot of bulk there that I have to cut down. But then we'll do the refining and the touch-up work with trimmers. So I had to cut some of that overhanging hair, but I was trying to do it to where I didn't make his forehead look too big. I was trying to keep the line low as possible. And I probably lined him up 150 times, man. Just because I wanted to make sure that he didn't have no hair if I combed it down or his hair got wet that was like super long. And now I'm just refining it with my trimmers, getting it even sharper. And it's not going to be perfect because it's waving at the front, and we've had to do a lot of work here to get this hairline to look like this. But what I did at the end, and you'll catch it, it's actually, I didn't get to catch it. I was recording, it wasn't in the camera when I was recording it, but I used my shears, my scissors, to point cut, and anything that was kind of coming off of the hairline that I couldn't quite get with my trimmers, I just point cutted it to be a even straighter line. So unfortunately I didn't catch it on camera, but you'll see a glimpse of it. Alright, so now we're gonna clean everything up with the razor. And the reason why I'm doing the razor first before I do the color enhancement is because the Tomb 45 beard and lineup color enhancement, also known as no drip, it's designed to stain the skin. It's not designed to stain the hair. So with that being said, you want the skin to be as clean as possible. So I like to use aftershave to kind of to kill bacteria, but aftershave also has like an astringent and toner, so it takes off the oil off the skin. So that's why I like to do that first, and I might as well do the razor first if I'm going to apply aftershave, right? So we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We sanitize the skin, kill the bacteria, take out the oil, and then his skin is nice and prepped for no drip. And no drip isn't diluted with alcohol or anything like that. It's alcohol based, but it's not diluted, so it dries up quick. Just like Kiss Express, when it's not diluted, it dries up real quick. That's no drip. So, but it's waterproof. It's designed to stain the skin, and you can see the more layers you add on, the darker. And I'm constantly removing the card, making sure I'm not making the line too dark. So like I'm spraying, removing the card just to check and make sure I didn't spray it too dark. See, I'm bending the card, curving it. I think the cut is coming out fire. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it came out better than the last time I cut his hair. And I guess it is what it is. The more you cut somebody's hair, the more you know about it, and the better the haircuts come out, if you care. And so look at the hairline. Look, there's a little bit of a peak there, and this is what I'm talking about. See that? I hit it with the scissors to straighten it out more. And look at the difference in the hairlines. Look at it before and after. That's the ultimate transformation, y'all. Love y'all. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.